From Martha Teichner, a look at a remarkable child with a very unlikely calling.
In Maine, where Elizabeth Downs lives, she became something of a sensation when she took up beekeeping at the age of 6. There was the novelty of it, and the sight of a very small girl in a bee suit surrounded by all those bees. But once you get past the how cute is that factor, you realize the story here is about someone who is precocious in her passion, and about how it takes a village to nurture her interest.
You can't be interested in gardening and not be interested in pollinators. So the transition was a natural progression for her.
It all started here, in the garden that covers practically every square inch of family friend Dave Oliver's yard in Old Town, Maine. Elizabeth had been his eager helper since she was 3. Oliver's next-door neighbor, Dave Fiaco, had beehives.
So she came down to my house and we put her in a horribly oversized bee suit.
Here's a picture of her in it.
We took her out, pulled the top off a hive, and from then forward, she was just hooked.
So we got a swarm for her and we gifted it to her, and Elizabeth, these are your bees now. So she took to taking care of her bees.
And you taught her how to do it?
Well, to the degree that I could. She enrolled herself in a course at Penn State, a beekeeper's course. It was online.
A college-level course?
Essentially a college-level course.
At age 8.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it can be fun. The stinging part's not very fun.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
No, but I like to do the honey extracting, and I like making the decisions.
Now, finally, she's allowed to fire up the smoker herself. Until she was 8, her mom said she was too young and did it for her. Smoke calms the bees down.
Well, I was pretty much like, well, I don't know anything about bees, but if you want to learn, we'll do it.
Rachel Downs is her daughter's assistant.
I've learned, probably not as much, but I've learned a lot doing it alongside of her.
What's your job in this bee enterprise?
Just do what I'm told. I mean, it's literally the heavy lifting.
Michael Downs, Elizabeth's dad, doesn't mind.
When you see your kid light up about something, that's the big rewarding thing as a parent. And Elizabeth lights up in the bee yard.
Oh, I see small eggs.
Elizabeth can hold her own with the nerdiest of bee nerds, who are mostly old enough to be her grandparents. Which is why the Penobscot County Beekeepers Association, Dave Fiaco, president,
Just look for your color-coded map.
made her their youth outreach coordinator.
So I did a presentation at my school and Old Town Elementary School.
She was too young to be a member of the board. Something just to indulge a kid?
So would you want to build these bigger so you could put a third one in between, or do you want to?
No.
If nobody's going to show Elizabeth and the younger generation how to do beekeeping, then in 15 years, there's not going to be anybody to do beekeeping.
And then what?
There's no food. Like, the food chain depends on bees.
And then there's the honey. Elizabeth extracts it from the frames she's pulled from her hives. Eventually, a thick river of it flows lazily into a bucket.
What's it like when you see it coming out?
To me, it looks like liquid gold. It looks a lot like gold. It's so beautiful, and it tastes really good, and it smells amazing. I think you need a little more.
Elizabeth named her operation Ease Bees and solicits donations for her honey. She gives most of the money away to charity and her church. Now 11, she says when she grows up, she wants to be the state apiarist, Maine's official beekeeper. She's convinced she's already heard her calling in the bee yard.
I really like bees, and I think this is what I want to do.
For your whole life. This is your life's work.
Yeah.
being with the bees. How do you feel?
I feel calm, and I love the sound of their buzz.